Welcome. We're glad that you can join us today for the NTTV News at noon for the University of North Texas. I'm Xiun-Ye.
And I'm Rachel Brown. It's such a beautiful day in Denton, a much needed change from the rain and severe weather we've been experiencing during the last few weeks.
You are so right. I can't even complain about the humidity and the heat index today. I'm just happy to see the sun.
Today's top stories: UNT researchers will soon receive millions of dollars in awards to study the effects of oil spills on the Gulf of Mexico ecosystem.
And a UNT Autism Conference shared techniques to improve success at school, home, and beyond. But first, let's talk about the new gun law for Texas universities.
In the controversial topic of having guns on campus, some people believe it's a good thing.
Some of these other radical groups going around, if they were to pop up in Denton, Texas, would we be ready to face them? I want to be ready.
And others don't.
I think it's a big mistake. I would be very uncomfortable if that were on my campus. I don't believe in guns in general, and I think more people will be killed by those guns than by mistake than would be worth it.
In the fall of 2016, the new steps are going to be taking place where students and faculty who are licensed to carry guns will be able to bring them on campus.
I just don't think so. I mean, sure, somebody could pull out a gun and shoot the person running away, but I just don't believe in that. I believe more in the justice system. You take them in to jail, then to courtroom, and you try them that way rather than just these people going out and shooting people. I just think it's wrong.
I value my life, I value my freedom, and I want that, people fought for our freedom. We should be able to defend ourselves,
But you can't control the human emotion when you see someone running away and people wanting to just take care of it without really knowing if they're shooting at the right person. It just seems too much of a rush to judgment.
I mean, if I die, then okay, that's in the Lord's hands, and I go to heaven today. See you guys later. But if I have the chance to actually defend myself and possibly save others, if there's others around me, I want to take that opportunity.
Whether you are for it or against it, we have to face this thing together. For NTTV, I'm Rachel Brown.
Students and faculty should be aware of this new law for Texas universities.
We'll be back in 30 seconds to learn for the very first time what can make you healthy, wealthy, and maybe just a little bit wiser. Welcome. We are glad that you can join us today for the NTTV4 News at Noon from the University of North Texas. I'm Rachel Brown.
And I'm Xiun-Ye. It's such a beautiful day today in Denton, a much needed change from the rain and severe weather we have been experiencing during the last few weeks.
You are so right. I can't even complain about how the heat, humidity, and the heat index today. I'm just happy to see the sun.
Today's top stories: UNT researchers will soon receive millions of dollars in awards to study the effects of oil spills on the Gulf of Mexico ecosystem.
And the UNT Autism Conference shares techniques to improve success at school, home, and beyond. But first, UNT professors are known to be passionate about the subjects they teach. Today, Xiun-Ye focuses on the Media Arts Department.
Here are two UNT professors.
My name is James Martin, and I am an assistant professor with the University of North Texas, Department of Media Arts.
I'm Brenda Jaskolski, and I'm the audio coordinator and also senior lecturer at the University of North Texas, Department of Media Arts.
Who dedicated their life to teach students.
What I want students to get out of my classes, honestly, is the idea that they should never stop learning. I want them to understand history and theory, obviously, because we have to know that. But I want them to understand the practical hands-on side. Now, some people think those things are not connected, and they are. Because if you have the history and the theory and the technique, then you can operate any object. And I say object on purpose because it doesn't matter what the equipment is. A light is a light, a camera is a camera, a lens is a lens. Doesn't matter how complicated it is, doesn't matter how expensive it is. If you understand the underlying principles of how they work, then you can operate any subsequent version of that thing.
College kids come here, learn, and they go to the real world and want to get real job. Do you have any advice for them as they jump into the media industry?
Be passionate and work hard. And, don't think that anything is beneath you. Don't go into it with an attitude, you're getting a great degree here at UNT and you've worked really hard and nobody can ever take that away from you. If you don't have that passion and willing to give and sacrifice initially, then you're not going to get your first job or you're not going to be successful.
Professors here on Department Media Arts have a lot of field experiences and have a strong passion toward their students. I'm Shiun-ye, NTTV News. We'll be back in 30 seconds to learn for the first time what can you make healthy, wealthy, and maybe just a little bit wiser.
Hi, I'm Rachel Brown, and today joining us is Shiun-ye. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
So, you grew up in South Korea. What was it like for you?
Well, nothing much different. I did have same childhood as the other people did. Going to school, hang out with friends after school. That's pretty much it, actually.
Whenever you came to America in the 8th grade, what was it like transferring over and learning English and dealing with that?
Well, I knew English before I came because we had to learn in school as a second language. But definitely I did have a lack of language skill, I guess, didn't know really how to talk. I mean, I knew how to talk, but in English smoothly very well. I still do that. But as I spent time here, I think my English skill got a little better and catching up with all the culture stuff, and it was pretty nice and good.
Whenever you moved to UNT, and you went to school here, how have you grown since being here?
I met a lot of people. It was so much different than high school because I went to a really small private school, and UNT is really, really big school, and it's a liberal also. It was a really eye-opening experience. I'm still experiencing so many things, and it's really nice to have all those things in my life.
What has been the best thing for you, I guess learning, or what's been one of your favorite things to learn here?
Since I chose this media arts major, my favorite thing is learning about audio productions, and it's really interesting how it works behind the scene without the sound or sound effects or music. Film really doesn't make sense unless you were just watching a silent film. So I really like about all those audio production things.
Is that what you want to be in the future?
Yes, I do. Radio is actually #1 thing I really want to be in. If I cannot, it's just wherever actually it leads me in my life later, actually, audio productions or the music industry. Anything will be fine with me.
Now, dealing with stress in college, how has that impacted you, or how have you gone through that?
I really didn't get that much stress in college, I'll be honest, because I guess I consider myself as pretty optimistic. But when I really actually do get stressed, I eat a lot and I get fat and I get depressed and I eat a lot again. That's a really, really bad way of dealing with stress. But what I realized was actually exercising makes you feel really good and better, and you get out of the depression cycle. So I actually would recommend to incoming freshmen, if they're dealing with stress, try to loosen up yourself a little bit and then exercise a bit.
What do you do to exercise?
Just go to a rec center and then be on a running machine, or if I actually feel good that day, then do some weightlifting and stuff.
That's really cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thank you for tuning in today. I'm Rachel Brown, and this is Shiun-ye.
Hello, thanks for joining this interview. Today we have Rachel Brown here with me to talk about how to deal with the stress in college. Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
Okay, my first question is, how is it different dealing stress in college and in high school?
Oh, I believe that high school stress was actually harder than college stress. Just because you had to do more classes at one time and there's like more papers. I haven't written a paper since I was in high school, and we'd always have them like every single week of like 5 or 6 pages, which now I haven't really had.
Right. I'm sure in college, not just academic stress, but also you were away from your friends and families that you had before. How do you deal with that?
I don't always get to see them as much as I would want to, but I'm not too far away where I can't see them either. I'm not like 17 hours away where I can't come and visit them as much as I want to. Luckily, I live about 40 minutes away, so I can still kind of see them on the weekends. But, you know, other friends are in different colleges, so I can't always get to see them either. You know, they may be 3 hours away, 7 hours away, so I don't always get to see them. But we still make time through like Skype or call and letters if we want to.
That is really nice. So as you spend your time in college, what is your way to deal with those stress?
I play music on the side. That's usually my go-to for stress, that I like to maybe express myself a little bit more with music, and it helps me just to calm down, and if I have, you know, a major project, then that helps me relax.
That's a nice way to express. Well, summer's almost over, and there's going to be incoming new freshmen coming. Is there any advice for them to deal with it?
My advice for the freshmen of UNT, I think, is to prepare ahead. That would be my biggest thing, is, you know, if you want to procrastinate, because it sometimes can bite you.
That is true.
But if you get ahead, you do it early, and it helps you to like relax after it's done, and to do other things that you might enjoy.
Well, thank you, Rachel, for joining me, and we'll be right back after this break.
We just learned that an accident involving an 18-wheeler and a pickup truck pulling a trailer happened moments ago on northbound lanes of I-30 East and Fort Worth exit. This 1-mile section on both the north and south sides of I-30 East is closed until further notice. Denton police report that the tractor trailer spilled 200 pounds of recycled materials onto the highway and access road. Hazardous material teams are on their way to assess the spill, and we will be following the story closely as it unfolds. Watch the bottom of your TV screens for further details as they come in, and be sure to follow the events on the website, nttv4u.com. I'm Rachel Brown. Thank you for joining us today for NTTV4 News at Noon.